Like, why? Why would I know them? Hello everyone and welcome to a fashionable Halloween treat. And I'm going to start this off with a little bit of a confession. This was actually supposed to be an episode of the Sewing Machine Adventures. You know, the very popular Sewing Machine series on YouTube at the moment. Created by me, of course. I'm just joking, no one knows about it. But still, it was going to be one of them. However, this thing that I want to make, which I thought needed to be sewn, apparently doesn't need any sewing at all. And although I do enjoy sewing, I love getting my sewing machine out. I say I love sewing, sometimes I really hate sewing, but I love getting my sewing machine out. I know a lot of people out there don't have access to a sewing machine. They hate sewing, they're really shit at sewing. Same. So today we're going to be making a Halloween themed boa, and literally all you need is basically a pair of scissors for this. But this shouldn't be complicated, it looks ridiculously easy. I've seen loads of creators do it online and it looks proper piss easy. So I'm hoping I don't have any issues with it. So for this no-sew boa, all you're going to need is some sort of like cord or rope or something like that. I've chosen black because obviously it's Halloween. You're also going to want tulle, and again, because this is Halloween themed, I thought I would go for this really cool purple and this like really nice emerald green. I thought that would be a nice combination. You're also obviously going to need a pair of scissors and then something to wrap the tulle around. So I've got a pan, and you might recognize this pan from last week for the brownies. They've obviously all been polished off. They went down a treat, by the way. Also, I will say the brownies, they were better the next day. If you're going to make them, leave them because they age. They go vintage and they just improve. Some people didn't like them, but you can't please everyone, can you? So the first step of this is to decide how long you want your boa to be. And I'm sure we all know what a boa is. You know, like the big, long, feathered kind of fluffy things. That's basically what it is. So I'm just thinking...
Please! These gays! They're trying to murder me!
I would rather it be too long, because then I can always cut it down later. We'll cut it here. And we also just want to singe the ends, just to kind of meld it to stop it fraying. And also, even though I've seen a lot of people make these no-sew boas online and stuff, the main person I saw who kind of inspired this, just to give credit, it was someone called Big Baby on TikTok, and they're a drag queen by the looks of things, or drag artist or something, and their boa looked fantastic. So if you want to check their content out, feel free to check it out. So that bit's done, and then in order to get the boa part, you're gonna get your tulle, and then I'm using this pan. You could also use like an old bit of cardboard, or like just basically something to wrap it around. I think the original creator wrapped it around 30 times, but they had way more tulle than I do, because tulle's really expensive, these ribbon things. And you know I'm a bit hard up at the moment.
Help me, I'm poor.
So I think I'm just gonna do 20 and see what that looks like. In fact, I might have to do even less. I'm not gonna have enough tulle. My boa might be a very, very short boa. I'm thinking I should do 10. Can't believe how much tulle that's used. It's fine, the other roll's a bit bigger. We'll see. I'm a bit worried now. And then we just slide this off. And then we need another bit of tulle just to tie around it. And you want to tie it off in the middle, just like that. I hope this goes well, mind, because they look absolutely amazing. They're so like voluminous and like fancy. And I think with like a boa, you could obviously add it to any Halloween outfit to just jazz it up a little bit, you know? Who doesn't love a boa? I know it's a very gay thing, but still.
You can just fuck yourself off back to Stockton. Ta-da!
What we're going to do is we're going to tie these eventually to this, but I think I'll wait till I've got all of them done, because that makes sense. So we've got one there, I'll put that to one side, and now we need to just continue making lots and lots more. See what I mean? I've only literally made 2 from that. Oh, I'm not going to have enough tulle. And it's not like I have spare green and purple tulle in the studio either. I have everything else, but not what I actually need. Wait there, let me do some maths, because I can't remember how big that spool was. This one's 100 yards. How much was this one? Because I got absolutely nothing from this. This was 25. So this is 4 times the size of this, and I've managed to get 2, and I can only get 6. That's very small. We're definitely only going to do 10, possibly even less, and it might just be a little bit of a scratty boa. It'll still work, it'll still be fine. To be like a drag queen and stuff though, it must just be so expensive, because tulle, and I think tulle's a very, very important material of being a drag queen, costs a shit ton, costs an absolute shit ton, and it's literally just netting. Because the original creator who I saw make this had 10 of these, and their boa looked fantastic. I didn't buy 10. I do enjoy this though, it's very easy, super easy. Oh, you know what, I think it'll be okay. I don't think mine's gonna look that scabby. And also, I think with a boa, they're just dead like messy and fluffy anyway, so you can kind of get away with it. I'm hoping. I'm talking as if I know everything about boas and I don't. Oh, this is exciting though, because if this went well and it looked amazing, you could make boas in every single colour and just have one for every day of the week, basically. I tell you what these kind of reminders of making, pom-poms. It's got a very similar kind of process to it. It's just much bigger, so it's way less fiddly. Also, I don't know whether you can tell, but I've added a few little curly bits in my hair this morning. I just fancied it. I was doing my hair and I was like, you know what? Let's mix it up a bit. The back of it looks really, really bad because my hair just goes all over the place. But I think the front looks quite nice, doesn't it? Like, just like a little bit of like, woof. That's one good thing about my hair, is it holds a curl quite well for some reason. Or like a wave quite well. It's a little bitch to straighten, and I, for some reason, favour straight hair, but I don't know, I might start embracing like the curly waviness of it all. Oh, you know what? I was worried I wasn't going to have enough. I think I am. I don't feel concerned at all. I think it's going to look quite nice, actually. I tell you what I should have done, either added an orange or a black. I think that would have really looked like amazingly good, and obviously screamed Halloween, but never mind, missed opportunity. I also thought this was going to take ridiculously long to make, but I don't think it's going to take very long at all, which makes a change. I like it when something surprises us in a nice way. Like, you think something's going to take your whole life to make, and then surprise, it's actually very simple, quick and easy. It's just refreshing. It's very refreshing. I get my hands on so many craft projects and so many different DIY things, and usually I'm surprised in the bad way. So this is very enjoyable. I'm having fun. I also think this is a good alternative to feather boas. I think feather boas tend to look a little bit cheap, and also the feathers like fall off them and they're just a bit messy. Whereas like a Tulle Boa, it's not going anywhere. It's there for life. Don't you dare leave me. I think if everyone had a boa, even though I don't have one yet, but I'm progressing towards having one. I think if everyone did have one, people would be a lot happier in life and a lot less angry. Have you noticed that at the moment, there just seems to be a lot of really, really angry people around? And I know the world's a bit shitty and stuff, so there's plenty of things to be angry about, but sometimes I'm just like, oh my god, like, calm down. Like, there's this one video that popped up on social media when I was scrolling through, and it was this guy, this like middle-aged, little tiny man, who was playing golf, and he was struggling to like hit the ball or something, I don't know. And he just took it like really seriously, had a full-on meltdown, proper stroppy little man-child. I was like, what is wrong with you? I wonder what happened in like life and to that specific person for them to act that way. For them to have such a minor inconvenience, such a little tiny thing, such a little pointless thing, create such a visceral reaction. I just don't understand. Like, I know I've had some reactions over certain crafts and stuff, but it's always been like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, like I take the piss a little bit. But to have a full-on meltdown that you can't hit a golf ball, get a grip. Like, seriously, get a grip. Someone needs to go at that man and just proper bitch slap him. You know, like slap some sense into them. Like, what is going on? Like, you should see it in the UK. Obviously, I talk about, like, America and other countries a lot. But in the UK, there's just so many
racist bastards.
Angry people bothered about... I don't even think they know what they're actually bothered about. I don't even think they deep down care. I think if they actually sat down and thought about it, I don't think they would be that bothered. But I think because people are telling them that they have to be bothered by this, then all of a sudden it's a big problem. And I think as soon as you start blaming a certain thing on why your life is the way it is, so say for example, you're poor, and I started saying the reason you're poor is because we have too many cows, and these cows are causing all the problems, and the cows are the reason that you feel this way. And then imagine if news outlets and the media and stuff started picking up on the fact that cows, oh my god, such a problem, these cows, they're everywhere, so many cows. And guess what? You're gonna start to get really pissed off with cows, aren't you? And I think that's what's happened. It's just so strange. People need to sit down and give their head a shake and really think for themselves and just, I don't know, just switch off like the news and social media and just calm their ass down. I wonder when it started too. It just feels like it started almost recently. Something weird's going on. There's something in the water or something. And the problem as well with these kind of people is you can't talk sense to them. They'll just lie. Or you'll give them a literal fact and they'll be like, no. And it's like, it's a fact. It's a fact. You can't argue with a fact because it's a literal fact. And they're like, no. I'm just like, alright. It's very worrying when people think that opinion is fact and it's not, and that they don't realise that fact is fact. It's just a very strange time to live, isn't it? I'm sure we're all aware of it and I'm sure we all feel it. I just don't fully understand what happened and where it all came from. But I wish we could go back to a time where we weren't all angry at things and we weren't all angry at each other and... I don't know. It just bothers you, doesn't it? It starts to wind you up. But anyway, that's just my little observational rant for today, if you will. Right, I think I've got one more left in this green. I hope I've got one more left. It's very thin. And we're going to get 10 more rotations. I don't think I'm going to have enough to do another one, so this one's just going to be a super thick one. Oh, I think I would have had enough for another one. Never mind. Right, so that's all the green done. Let's see how many I've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. Imagine, oh, we can already see it, can't we? We can feel it. Exciting. So now I just need to do exactly the same, but with the purple ones, and then we can actually start making a boa.
It's about time.
Purple one's finished. I don't know how many I've got actually. I did have to go thicker with this one because this purple tulle was so ridiculously thin. It was almost invisible. 15, 16, 17. So we've got more purple than green. That's alright, that's fine. So what we're going to need to do now is take out a piece of black cord. I'll start at one end and then work my way down. I don't think I'm going to make it as long as I've wanted to make it, but never mind. And then all you're supposed to do is just tie these bits. Oh, actually, I need to tie this into a knot first. Right, and then start tying these on. And it's fine about these like dangly bits and stuff because they're just going to add to the like floofiness of it all. And then obviously you can do this part however you want to do it, but I suppose you want to have the colours alternating. And I would say to get them quite close together, but I don't want to get them too close together, otherwise I'm going to run out. Or you can move them as well along, so that's fine. Oh, you know what? This might actually be quite thick. I was worried it was going to be this like scratty, shitty little boa, but it actually might be alright. I have a strong suspicion once people have seen this, everyone is literally going to want to make a boa. I'm telling you now, a tulle boa is going to be all the rage. Everyone's going to want one. They convinced me online. I was like, right, I need one. I don't think I've ever owned a boa either, which is shocking because I'm a proper gay too.
Ready for my salad?
And I think gays need to have a boa. How else would anyone know I'm gay unless I carried round a boa with us? That's how we're identified.
Go on, do it again, do it again.
I do find it funny, mind, talking about the gays.
Oh, you mean the gays, not the gays.
When someone will talk to us about a gay person or something, and they'll be like, oh, you might know them. I'm like, why? Why would I know them? The world's a very big place. Why would I know this very specific gay person? And then they tell us about them and I'm like, oh yeah, I do know them actually. I'm joking, I don't. 9 out of 10 times I have no idea who they're on about. But it's just hilarious to think that people actually genuinely think that all gays know each other. And it's just not true. I'm gonna have a lot of extra purple ones compared to the green. It's such a shame. I really wish I'd bought more tulle. If I'd bought more tulle, this would have been fantastic. I also wish I'd bought a third colour, but never mind. Lesson learned. If in doubt, you need more tulle. How long's that going to be? Oh, it's going to be a tiny boa. It's going to be small. I'm running out. That's not going to be good enough. But to be fair, like a little cute mini boa might be nice, mightn't it? And then that could be more of like a casual thing, you know? When you're shopping for apples and whatnot. I love shopping for apples. Imagine how much of a nightmare this would have been if I'd tried to sew it. It would have been a disaster, wouldn't it? I wouldn't even know where to start with sewing tulle. I can imagine it's very difficult. But also I find basically 99% of fabrics difficult to sew. Right, we're getting there. I'm nearly towards the end, but that's fine. It's gone a lot further than I thought. I was really expecting this to be embarrassing, but I don't think it's going to be. This could even be like a technique to make some sort of like bunting or garland or something, couldn't it? I know I'm making a boa, but you could incorporate this technique and do a lot of stuff. I was very ambitious cutting off all this rope. It was never ever going to get that far. Right, let me see how long this is going to be. Do I need to spread it out a bit? Actually, this might be a very acceptable length. I don't think a drag queen's going to slag us off. It's going to be okay. I'm happy about that. Okay, good. And that's the thing as well, you don't want to piss off a drag queen. Never ever get on the wrong side of a drag queen, okay? They have a lot of power. I've met many drag queens in my life and they can make you feel literally that small. If they wanted to, 99% of them are absolutely lovely, but they do have a sharp side and they need it really, based on the profession that they work in.
Tits dragging on the floor, 64. Balls dragging on the floor, 74.
Obviously this looks like this, and if you wanted to keep it like this and have just like a bowy thing, you could. But in order to get the full boa effect, you just want to take your scissors and cut all these bits, just like you would with a pom-pom. And it doesn't need to be neat, it can be as messy as you want. And then you're just going to kind of fluff it out as you go. And if you look at that, that's starting to look very bowy, isn't it? Oh, yes. This is going to look mint, I know it is. Oh my god, it's going to look so camp. I'm so excited. So I finally finished cutting and fluffing my boa. By the way, I think that part took the longest to do. It was a lot of fluffing, but I'm not even lying. And I've looked in the mirror and stuff. This is, I think, my favourite thing I've ever made in the entire world. It's perfection. So, what do we think?
Be a 10 out of 10.
Honestly, like, it is so cool. I'm just so happy it's so voluminous. I was expecting it to be this like shriveled, shitty little boa based on how much tulle I'd bought, but look at that. It goes a long way. I just feel so glamorous. I kind of wish it had been even longer. If it had been twice the size, it would have been amazing. And honestly, I'm kind of tempted, and I don't know whether there's a world record for the biggest boa, but I've enjoyed making this so much that I'm kind of tempted to make the biggest one in like the world and just have like this absolutely ridiculously giant tulle boa. I think something like this would be a fantastic little addition to any Halloween outfit or something. And I absolutely love the colour, like the purple and the green, it goes so well together. You know, before when I was talking about the angry man who got really pissed off with his golf and stuff and he couldn't hit the ball? He needs one of these. If everyone had one of these, the world would be a much better place and a much happier place, because it just makes you feel great. Like, I want to run down the stairs and answer the door. That's what I want to do. This is what the boa makes me want to do. It makes me want to just like run and just like freely run down the staircase and just answer the door, and the wind just blows in my face. It just feels so glamorous. I know people think boas are like proper camp and just like cheap looking and stuff. I disagree. I completely disagree. This is the most glamorous I've ever felt in my entire life. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed today's fashionable Halloween video as much as I have. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, by the way, nothing will ever please you, because it's been a fantastic day. And feel free to let me know down in the comments below if this is something you'll be making or something similar. Christmas is coming up. You could have a Christmas boa. You could have a birthday boa. You could have a spring, summer, winter, autumn boa. You could just have so many boas. I would highly recommend making one. Even if you just wear it around the house, it'll bring you so much happiness and so much joy. Seriously, completely worth it. And I shall see you next week for a brand new video. I think next week I might be doing some extra Halloween content too. So, you know, subscribe. I don't want you to miss out on that. But I need to wait for the doorbell to ring now, because I want to run down the stairs. But my door's not where the stairs is. I need to run down the stairs with my boa and the door like fling open very dramatically. And I say, come on in, with my Amazon package that I've no doubt bought, because I buy loads of shit that I don't need.